Hello, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I decided to give you a quick board update about our summer months in preparation for our September gathering. That way we can spend time thinking about the last quarter of the year and not rehashing what just took place. And I'm doing it in an arboretum. I think nothing says more, represents more the seasons than a place like this where the seasons actually have an impact on the way things look. And at the YMCA, we had a substantial change that took place over the last several months. And so I'm going to recap for you what took place, not in terms of programming, but certainly in terms of the progress we've made towards our strategic plan. Before I get to some details, I want to remind us of our mission statement, which is to put Christian principles into practice through programs that build healthy spirit, minds, and bodies for all. And I do this to try to remind us that at the YMCA, our mission statement is not about summer camp or after school or fitness or aquatics. It's about strengthening spirit, minds, and bodies, and those are the tools we've chosen to use to make an impact in the lives of people. In case you were wondering, the YMCA did experience a very traditional summertime experience, which we were not real sure was going to take place. And I would admit that although it felt quote unquote normal, the environment has certainly changed and we were challenged throughout the summer. So let me remind us that we have a strategic plan that we're working through, and I'm going to kind of unpack the top goals of that strategic plan and at the same time share with you our work during the summer months. So let me begin along the bottom of this mountain that kind of symbolizes our strategic plan, and remind you that along the bottom of that mountain represents the basic core functions of our YMCA. So let me begin with our staff. We had a goal to make sure that our full-time staff was representative of the community we serve. As you can see here, we certainly accomplished that. In terms of ethnicity, we have 19% BIPOC staff of color, which is similar to the community we serve. We have hired Eloquate, who is a consultant, a local consultant that's going to be doing a review of our processes, the structures that we use to try to help create an inclusive and joyful environment for our staff. In terms of mobilizing our volunteers, we have a goal of trying to improve over the previous years by 10%, and we're going to be able to exceed that considerably. Already, we're at 122 projects, a little bit over 1,000 or so volunteers. We're doing a pretty good job, I think, of tracking what's taken place, not just at the association level, but also at the branch level. So you can see here this dashboard that we share internally to track not just the projects, but what is taking place across the different functions and across our YMCAs. We also want to make sure that our board is continually engaged. We have a goal that our board is attending at least 75% of the meetings, and you can see we're not quite there. I think this is still a challenge of the pandemic. My hope is that we're able to recover that over the next several months as we return to some normalness. And just as a reminder, we're also tracking your engagement in committee work. We also wanted to make sure that our finances were stabilized. We do have a planned operating loss of $2.5 million, not including an allocation from McKinsey Scott. We are going to be able to do a lot better than that. The McKinsey Scott allocation was going to already put us at a negative 1.5 million or so. I think our best projections right now is that we might be able to balance to zero our operations, which is a significant indicator of both our growth and cost-cutting measurements that we've been able to manage. And then we also wanted to make sure that we were fundraising and marketing appropriately. We obviously met our goal for this year. We're actually planning right now to launch our next annual campaign. We can celebrate and have celebrated that we met our goal. We also are tracking to see how many impressions we get in the marketing front, and you can see here that we have exceeded the goal already this year in both this and the volunteer measurements, we're probably going to increase them exponentially, because I think we've done better than expected there. We also want to offer modern facility and virtual platforms. As a reminder, we updated our app, we updated our website, we've increased the amount of online options for members, and we are doing really, really well there. Our facilities are returning back, but we know that we've got some cleaning and deferred maintenance that we're going to have to catch up on. And so you can expect that this fall I may ask for a significant allocation to go ahead and deal with some of those deferred maintenance items that were put on hold during the pandemic. Now, as we move up on the goals for the YMCA, one of the things we wanted to do is to evolve the organization in terms of its culture. We specifically wanted to move towards steady state and ultimately to the more holistic state, which means we're not just simply doing well in terms of our finances, but we're also doing well in terms of our impact. We also track what we call the 6 key indicators. As you can see here, a lot of green to share. We've got a couple of areas that we need to work on. Volunteerism is red here because we'd like to get at least 10% or so of our members engaged in service to their community. This next phase is to center inclusion and belonging at the YMCA. As you heard earlier, Eloquate is going to be helping us there, ensuring that our belonging score is strong. And although this is just one caveat, one representation, I did want to share with you the story of this young man. And here's an excerpt of the mom and her comments about how she found the YMCA adequate to support the development of her child. And this is what she says. Dear volunteer coaches, thank you isn't enough. I know you're also a busy parent doing the best you can do. You are amazing and we see you. We see you give our child a chance. We see your patience, we see your support. We see your willingness to learn drills for tiny humans who are so excited to have their time to shine. I want to especially thank you as the mama of the child with special needs on your team. When he was too overwhelmed and lost his composure, it was your son who, without prompting, gave the ball back to him and scored his first basket in the game. That didn't go unnoticed. We will never forget you and the impact you made on our journey. Number 2's mom. We also want to make sure that 30% of our members report a culture of innovation, learning, and joy. And so we're looking to try to do a survey in the fall. And again, we'll establish a baseline and work from that. And then finally, we want to expand and improve our programs. This year, we wanted to reach 70% of members in our programs and reach 40,000 individuals. And you can see by our goal that we have reached the 70 percentile mark, and our achievement, relationship, and belonging scores are solid. And although it's still too early, I believe we're going to be able to reach or get very close to that 40,000 mark. We're still gathering data from the summer months. So what took place during the summer? Well, this was our theme for the summer, Find Your Sunshine, specifically around achievement, relationship, and belonging. And I think this image here kind of captures our goals. Here's some photographs from day camp and some of the work we did there. And then from our overnight camp, we had weeks that we had 400 kids in resident camp and over 100 kids in day camp at the same location. So they had a significant time as well. And then finally, we had our Healthy Kids Day. Strong turnout. We wish we'd had a little bit more, but I believe it was a super hot summer. Those that showed up had a great time and in fact learned how the YMCA is supporting the health of children and their families. We did a school supply drive in preparation for summer. We also did a summer bucket list. This is a list of wellness goals that we wanted to help our members with. We hosted the Emerging Multicultural Leadership Experience and had the mayor of Cincinnati as our keynote. We were served as cooling stations during the hottest days of the summer, and we launched a 21-day equity challenge, not just here across the region, but across the country. We had over 1,200 individuals, even some from Canada, participating in this work. So that's my update for the summer. I know that went really, really fast. My hope is that when we get together later this month, we can pick up the conversation, celebrate a little bit about what we accomplished during the summer months, and move on as we prepare to the final quarter of 2022, and yes, begin to lay the foundation of our work in 2023. Thank you so much for everything you do to serve on the YMCA board, and for your commitment to help us strengthen the spirits, the minds, and the bodies of our friends.